Hello! Thank you for joining me. You know, I've been thinking a lot since last time we met together about how the waters cover most of our earth, right? And specifically, the oceans. Wasn't that amazing to think about? How the majority of our planet is covered with water? Wow! Our Earth is amazing, isn't it? So I thought it'd be nice to revisit the oceans and give them some more love today. So speaking of which, let's use our song that we learned last time where we talked about peace like a river. Because the second verse of that was love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. Do you remember how that went? I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. Well, wouldn't you know it? It's just the right length for hand washing. So, let's do it. All right, here's turning on the water. Hands are getting wet. Turn off the water and add our soap. Okay, let's do it a little higher, actually. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. There we go. All right, let's rinse off that soap. And dry our hands. Great. Well, I was wondering, have you ever held a seashell up to your ear before and tried to listen for the sounds of the ocean? I have a little one here. It works better if you have a bigger shell so that the air can move through the twists and turns of the shell. But let's see if I can hear anything. You have to wait very quietly. I think I can just barely make out the sounds of the waves. I like to imagine that this seashell knows a lot about the ocean. You know, whether it's been just sitting on the sandy sea bottom, just watching the fishes swim by. Perhaps a sea turtle has told it a little story as it swims by on its long journey. Or maybe this shell's been riding about on a hermit crab's back, and it's seen all sorts of things in the ocean. It's fun to imagine what a seashell could tell you if you held it up to your ear. And I have a little song about that. This is a song my daughter taught me. It's nice and simple, and it goes like this. Seashell, seashell, sing a song for me. Tell me about the ocean, tell me about the sea. Isn't that nice? I'd like to sing it through a couple times because it's so good and short. Seashell, seashell, sing a song for me. Tell me about the ocean, tell me about the sea. Seashell, seashell, sing a song for me. Tell me about the ocean, tell me about the sea. Good, so let's learn this little song together. It starts out, I'll say the words and then you can repeat. Seashell, seashell, sing a song for me. Tell me about the ocean. Tell me about the sea. Great. Let's go back and forth with the music now. Seashell, seashell. Your turn. Sing a song for me. tell me about the ocean. Tell me about the sea. Lovely. Okay, now let's put the whole thing together. We'll sing it through 2 times. Here we go. Seashell, seashell, sing a song for me. Tell me about the ocean, tell me about the sea. Seashell, seashell, sing a song for me. Tell me about the ocean, tell me about the sea. Great, thank you for singing with me. You know, I also have a tongue twister about seashells. Tongue twisters are really fun. Have you ever done them before? A tongue twister could be just 2 words or a whole series of words that are put together to sort of twist your tongue around. That's why it's called a tongue twister. Sometimes they have the same starting sounds over and over again, or sometimes they're mixed up in the middle of the words. Some examples would be, what if you say unique New York? Probably pretty easy to say slowly, right? Unique New York. But then, if you try and say it faster and faster, it can get pretty tricky to say. Let me see if I can do it. Unique New York. 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 See, my tongue got all twisted up. There's another one that I like to do, which is red leather, yellow feather. 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 Red leather. Oh, there it went. Do you want to try these? Unique New York and red leather, yellow feather. They're really fun. I bet you know some too. Well, the great thing about tongue twisters is that they help you learn to enunciate clearly. They help your tongue get more sharp, right? And when we're singing, it's really important to pronounce our words clearly so that our audience or your family, whoever you're singing with, can understand what you're singing about. So it helps give us practice for pronouncing all of the words, all of the sounds in the words clearly. All right. So I want to share this seashell tongue twister with you. So it starts out like one that you may have heard before, which is, she sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. But then this version I found of it continues. Ooh, so cool. So I'm going to do the whole thing, and then I'm going to try and get faster and faster. Ready? Here we go. She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. For if she sells seashells by the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells. It's like a little story, right? I'm going to say it again. She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. For if she sells seashells by the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells. All right, I'm going to try and do it faster now. Here we go. This is the challenge. She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. For if she sells seashells by the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells. Should I try and do it even faster? Okay, one more time. She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. For if she sells seashells by the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells. I think I did it. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to put this tongue twister down below in the description of the video if you'd like to learn it too. Fun, huh? Well, next, I would love to share with you this wonderful book that we've really enjoyed in our family. It's called Over in the Ocean in a Coral Reef, and it's by Marianne Burkus and illustrated by Jeanette Canyon. And I love that this book shares about all sorts of different ocean creatures. And I'm going to start out by telling a little bit about the person who wrote this song. It's a song in a book, which I really appreciate, of course, and the person who did the illustrations, because they're both very unique. So, this is the author, Marianne Burkus, and she based, yes, that's right, she based this song on an old song that you may have heard before called Over in the Meadow. Over in the Meadow goes like this. Over in the meadow in a pond in the sun lived an old mother duck and her little duck one. Dum ba 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 bum bum ba ba bum. Follows that melody and it keeps going. But this author, Marianne Burkus, knew how much we are fascinated by sea creatures. So she wanted to make a whole new song that had words about creatures that live in the ocean. So that's Marianne Burkus. So she wrote all of these. And the song goes from 1 to 10, singing about the mothers or fathers, in the case of a seahorse, from 1 to 10, and their little babies. All right, this is the artist. Now, she had quite an amazing job to do. Her name is Jeanette Canyon. She made all of the illustrations in this book, not by drawing, not by painting them, but by sculpting them out of clay. She made every single image in this whole book out of clay, shaping it and molding it and cutting it. And this picture shows about how she did research to make sure that the animals she was showing us in the book are correct. And she used lots of different tools and techniques to make all of the different colors and shapes that you see in this book. And here you see her in her artist's studio. And once she made each illustration in the book, then she baked the clay picture in a special oven so that it would harden. And then they took photographs of it. So let's start out. We start out with this first page, just as an example. Look at that. So the artist, Jeanette Canyon, crafted each one of these tiny little balls to represent the ocean's waves, of course, and each one of these lines to represent the swirling waters by hand. And she placed them all just so. Isn't that incredible? That's just one example of her work. All right, well, let's see some more. In this book, Over in the Ocean in a Coral Reef. So I'm going to sing each page, and then, there we go. Maybe if I back up. I'm going to sing each page, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about it, about the creature, or about one of the art techniques used to make the illustration, and then let's sing it together. All right, here we go. Over in the ocean far away from the sun lived a mother octopus and her octopus one. Squirt, said the mother, I squirt, said the one. So they squirted in the reef far away from the sun. So every time we go through the book, it's going to go from 1 to 10 as far as the creatures go. So we started with our octopus 1, and there's the little baby octopus squirting. Did you know that octopuses squirt ink when they feel like they might be threatened? Like maybe a predator might be coming to get them, or even when they're startled. Sometimes they just squirt ink, and that fills up the water, and then they can escape. Pretty cool, huh? So yes, there's the baby squirting. So the mother says, squirt, said the mother, and the baby replies, I squirt, said the one. And that's a pattern that's going to go throughout the whole song. So I could especially use your help with the numbers from 1 to 10. And also, if you can say the baby or the children's part, that would be great. And on every page, it's going to have the number printed here. That's another way you can follow along. All right, great. So I'm going to sing that again, and you can join me if you like. Here we go. Over in the ocean far away from the sun lived a mother octopus and her octopus one. Squirt, said the mother, I squirt, said the one. So they squirted in the reef far away from the sun. Let's go on. Over in the ocean where the sea grasses grew lived a mother parrotfish and her parrotfish too. Grind, said the mother, we grind, said the two. So they ground on the coral where the sea grasses grew. Yeah, parrotfish are quite amazing. They come in all different colors, and they use these special teeth to actually grind on the coral. It's true. They grind down the old coral that doesn't need to be there anymore so new coral can grow. They refresh the coral reefs. They're very important. And they also eat the algae that grows on the coral to help it stay healthier so the coral can breathe better and flourish. Great. So let's do that together. Over in the ocean where the sea grasses grew lived a mother parrotfish and her parrotfish. Grind, said the mother, we grind, said the two. So they ground on the coral where the sea grasses grew. Over in the ocean in a sea anemone lived an old mother clownfish and her clownfish three. Dart, said the mother, we dart, said the three. So they darted all around in a sea anemone. Oh, I just learned that clownfish can live in sea anemones because they have a special coating, like a slimy coating on their bodies that protects them from the anemone's tentacles. Because the sea anemone uses these tentacles that look almost like flower petals, right? To stun any little fishes or things that come into it so that it can eat them. And so the clownfish and the anemone work together like partners. And the clownfish darts around attracting fish that would want to come eat it. And then it hides in the anemone for protection. And then the anemone gets to eat the fish. Pretty neat how they work together like that, isn't it? Good. Well, let's sing that one together. We're on 3. Over in the ocean in a sea anemone lived an old mother clownfish and her little clownfish 3. Dart, said the mother, we dart, said the 3. So they darted all around in a sea anemone. Ooh. Over in the ocean on a sandy sea floor lived an old mother stingray and her little stingrays 4. Stir, said the mother, we stir, said the 4. So they stirred with their fins on a sandy sea floor. Wow, I learned that the artist, in order to get this to look like sand, mixed pepper into her clay. Wow, what an interesting technique, huh? And about stingrays, I learned that they actually do stir up the sand by moving around, kind of going like this, and it stirs up little plants and tiny little fish that they like to eat. Let's sing that one together. You can do the number and the children's voice this time. Over in the ocean on a sandy sea floor lived an old mother stingray and her little stingrays. Stir, said the mother, said the 4. So they stirred with their fins on a sandy sea floor. Over in the ocean where the scuba divers dive lived an old mother puffer and her puffer fish 5. Puff, said the mother, we puff, said the 5. So they puffed in and out where the scuba divers dive. 5. Pufferfish. These are such fascinating creatures. Did you know that they can actually fill themselves up with air or water. And that's how they get this puffy shape. Yes, but the only thing is when they puff themselves up with air, then they actually float on the surface and they can't come down and start swimming again until the air goes out of them, until they deflate. Interesting, huh? All right, let's sing that together. Over in the ocean where the scuba divers dive, lived an old mother puffer and her puffer fish. Puff, said the mother, said the... So they puffed in and out where the scuba divers dive. Over in the ocean doing somersault tricks, lived an old mother dolphin and her little dolphin 6. Jump, said the mother, we jump, said the 6. So they jumped and they played doing somersault tricks. Well, dolphins are amazing, aren't they? These are bottlenose dolphins, and dolphins are some of the most intelligent creatures in the sea, and they're also some of the most playful. So they play as part of their daily life, just like we do. Let's sing it together. Over in the ocean doing somersault tricks, lived an old mother dolphin and her little dolphins. Jump, said the mother, said the 6. So they jumped and they played doing somersault tricks. Over in the ocean in their sea fan heaven, lived a mother angel fish and her little angels 7. Graze, said the mother, we graze, said the 7. So they lazed and they grazed in their sea fan heaven. Angelfish are some of the most ornate, beautiful fish in the sea. And when it says we graze, they're talking about the way that they like to go from bits of coral to coral. Sometimes this specific kind of coral is called a sea fan. They go and they eat a little bit here, and they nibble a little bit here, and then they go over here. That's called grazing. Let's sing it. Over in the ocean in their sea fan heaven, lived a mother angel fish and her little angels 7. Graze, said the mother, said the... So they lazed and they grazed in their sea fan heaven. Over in the ocean, very streamlined and straight, lived a mother needlefish and her needlefish 8. Skitter, said the mother, we skitter, said the 8. So they skittered through the water, very streamlined and straight. My goodness, they are streamlined and straight, aren't they? Needlefish. Wow, why do you think they're called that? Yes, I think it's definitely because of the shape of their mouths, of their jaws, right? It's actually very sharp, and they have sharp teeth, so sharp that they can even eat sea urchins without getting hurt. And when it says we skitter, that means it's a special way they move across the surface of the water. Let's sing it. Over in the ocean, very streamlined and straight, lived a mother needlefish and her needlefish 8. Skitter, said the mother, said the... So they skittered through the water, very streamlined and straight. Over in the ocean, drifting in a yellow line, lived an old mother gruntfish and her little grunts 9. Grunt, said the mother, we grunt, said the 9. So they grunted and they kissed, drifting in a yellow line. Gruntfish. They actually do swim in formation a lot of the time. So you'll see these little yellow lines of fish going through the ocean, and they even do kiss. Isn't that funny? They approach each other with these little kissy fish mouths as a way of communicating, of greeting each other. Cute, huh? Gruntfish. Let's sing it. Over in the ocean, drifting in a yellow line, lived an old mother gruntfish and her little grunts. Grunt, said the mother, said the... So they grunted and they kissed, drifting in a yellow line. Over in the ocean, in their turtle grass den, lived an old father seahorse and his seahorses 10. Flutter, said the father, we flutter, said the 10. So they fluttered all around in their turtle grass den. Seahorses are amazing. And did you know that it is the father seahorse who gives birth to the baby seahorses? Isn't that wonderful? Very unique in the animal kingdom. So this is a father seahorse and his seahorses 10. And they flutter their fins in order to move. You know, I noticed that the artist, if you can see, has a special pattern that she uses to really make it look like real fins on these seahorses. And I found out that the tool she used was one of these. Another seashell. This is a cockle shell that we've seen before. We sang about it in Molly Malone, right? Cockles and mussels. Oh, my earrings are cockle shells too. But yes, the artist took the pattern of the shell and pressed it into the clay in order to make the pattern of the fin. Wow. All right. Well, this is our last one. This is the end of the song, so let's sing it together. Over in the ocean, in their turtle grass den, lived an old father seahorse and his seahorses 10. Flutter, said the father, said the. So they fluttered all around in their turtle grass den. That is Over in the Ocean in a Coral Reef. Thank you for singing with me. Oh, isn't that a wonderful book? I'm so glad we got to do it together. Well, now it's time for our question of the day. If you could spend the whole day with one ocean creature, which one would you choose? Observing it, studying it, living alongside it, this creature for the whole day. You know, perhaps you would want to choose one of the creatures from our book, right? Or perhaps a different one. You know, our oceans are so vast that they contain, get this, 228,450 different species of creatures. Isn't that wild? And scientists think that there are over 2 million more different creatures that they have not even discovered yet. Isn't that amazing? The oceans are mysterious, full of creatures that have not even been discovered yet. You know, maybe someday you will be one of the ones to discover a new oceanic creature. Isn't that exciting to think about? Well, for me, if I had to choose, I would choose this ocean creature called a sea octopus. Have you ever heard of one of those? Maybe after this video, you can ask your family to help you look it up if you've never seen one before. Believe me, it's worth it. A blanket octopus. I just learned about this creature a couple of years ago as an adult, and I was amazed to think that I had gone my whole life not knowing about this amazing creature. Wow. All right, well, let's do our goodbye song together now. Thank you for spending all this time with me. Here we go.